As of 10 o'clock Central Time, we have a Category 5 hurricane in the Atlantic. Lee with 160 mile per hour winds. Just an incredible storm that is still growing strong. You can see the eye there, very well defined. You got that stadium effect, and just zooming in on this, the thunderstorm activity around the core is just off the charts. The pressure down to 928 millibars. 24 hours ago, this thing was a minimal hurricane. So in 24 hours, we've dropped from close to 990 millibars to below 930 millibars. That's about as strong as it gets. So look at this. This is what the hurricane hunters found when they went into it. And in the upper right hand, this right here, that's the eye itself. You can see the peak wind right there, the surface wind, close to 155 knots. That's what gives us the 160 miles per hour. The flight level wind and MSLP, look how the pressure just kind of craters right there, going way down. You also see the pressure and the altitude. Look how the aircraft changed altitude as it was being pushed downward in the eye. And this is the sounding, the drop sound that dropped down into the storm that gave us that lowest pressure observation. That shows 930, but they must have gotten one additional one that showed 928. So you see how these two lines are separate? This is dew point, and this is temperature. They're far apart up here, up higher, around 800 and 700 millibars, because there's so much substance drying in the atmosphere. So it's drying and warming inside the eye, and then you get right down here, the humidity's higher close to the surface, and the wind about 20 miles per hour inside the eye. So no, it's not always perfectly calm in the eye. We think this thing's probably going to be a Cat 5 for a couple of days here out in the Atlantic. Look at this. Cat 5 all the way through Sunday morning. It may start to weaken a little bit toward Tuesday of next week, but that still remains to be seen as well. Here's what the latest forecast modeling is showing us, and you can see the lines there are the different spaghetti plots that we like to show just to give you an idea of how many different scenarios there could be. This is the European guidance, 6 o'clock Saturday morning. It's got this thing as probably still a Category 1 hurricane, very close to Cape Cod or the Bay of Fundy, or potentially up into Nova Scotia. So it is a big, big deal. Around here, the air is getting much, much drier in central Alabama, and that's going to set up a nicer night for us around here. Temperatures are going to fall off into the 50s and 60s. Here's our 7-day forecast locally. Highs will be in the 80s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Next chance of some showers and storms early next week. And no, Lee has no chance of getting into the Gulf of Mexico as we see it right now, but we'll, of course, keep you posted on where Lee is headed.